afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacaster. Me, host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hillstrike, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Holotny Winter. Between them, we've got Vonivan fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 213th Rifle Division versus these. We've got Paul.A.D fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the... I don't know, let's just say 5th SS Panzerdivision Viking. We got here elite troops, fortified armor and mobile defense of Paul with machine gun, Panzerfaust and mine bulletins versus Vonivan's CERT reserve army. Conscript support tactics and shock rifle frontline tactics with trouble infantry bulletins. It would seem slightly more likely to aim for either these two doctrines, since they will fit in well with the bullets, and in particular could just go for a lot of them fast and then sort of later on turn into a lot of conscript with submachine guns and then further feed into it with rapid conscription. It basically boils down to, does he want artillery and Panzer 6 or does he want, KB1s? Meanwhile, we got units in North for Vonivan, conscripts that aiming for him as well. And we got there Paul heading out with grenadiers and MG42s for the fatherland. Both high ranking and both highly aggressive players, by the way, here. Second and third conscript there. On the way for Vonivan, second one just done. MG42 moving ahead here. Not by the way, going for the church for trying to sweep food. He sweep past it and head for the cuff on there, most likely with another infantry squad. So we can see Paul.A.D there aiming for a very disruptive start with the Wehrmacht, which is definitely a trick in its own right, since again it requires you to get a machine gun that well without it getting a stop by anything and catching up on off guard. It does help in this case. Vonivan isn't quite going for the necessarily as aggressive start as he could, and this allows Paul then to actually play more aggressive than Vonivan with the Wehrmacht. Cactus comes off guard with an MG42 heading for the cuff point, and that's going to force Vonivan to have to fight around the MG42. Of course, he can then flank it, but if Paul then keeps the area around the MG42 clear, at least his flanks they're covered, he should be able to then further make things awkward here for Vonivan, who's now almost got the 4th counter squad ready on the way there. And there you go, counter flank up behind his MG42 positions. No immediate supporting interest, the rest of the troops moving up to grab territory elsewhere. Gunners being surrounded, MG42 popping into there, but has no decides against it. We've got more gunners around there for Paul.A.D. Gunners being outmaneuvered by the counter MG4 setting up. Going to be in time. Oh, it's not going to be. Just past it. Gunners are around to support. MG42 might have to pop into the house there this time around, but even then, it might be forced to retreat as the counter is doing a lot of damage up close. No Molotovs here though for Vonivan, as yet no means of dealing with it. Still, Paul is keeping their cuff point and thusly the fuel out of Vonivan's hands. In there go, conscripts being pushed back by Paul's aggressive tactics. Third grenadier squad on the way for Paul. Vonivan here might have to consider going for some early Molotovs. Actually, is he going for munitions somewhere else? Or is he just not gotten any almost? It would seem to be so. Alright, troops moving ahead. Grenadiers fighting for the cuff point. Comes standing up, but they're taking heavy fire for the MG42 and the Grenadiers. The MG42 is about to get wiped though. That'd be a considerable loss there for Paul in the early moments of the game. Oh, he gets it wiped. That's definitely going to force Paul to fall back. He's going to have to grab the MG42 and retreat with it. Or he could keep fighting here, but that would be incredibly risky. There you go, elite troops. And there you go, concussive grenade to punish from trying to make for it. And there we go. Stuns the machine gun. Could be able to wipe it out again, but even then he has to make it off with it. More grenadiers around there for Paul and the 5th SS. MG4 to the about to get wiped. Comes got pushed back. Paul continues up the massive pressure around the car point here. Vonivan is seemingly got maybe 5 country squads there out now in the field. A lot of infantry out there for now. Certainly, he's got reserve army as well, so he's going to be going for a lot of submachine guns. Right now, though, he's going to be starting to get anywhere since he's barely getting any resources as Paul just keeps up this momentously aggressive Wehrmacht assault, which you rarely get to really see. Mostly because it's highly risky. But Paul managed to pull it off, at least so far. Casualties have already been heavy. The field is littered with the corpses of numerous Russians and quite a few German infantrymen as well. Heading the northern point here as well, securing the south on top of everything else. Grenadiers retreating, I was making forwards, more concussive grenades here. I mean, elite troops just works with an offensive, play there. Concussive grenades just work with it as well. So, I mean, it's just, we're just really feeling like hand in glove here for Paul and the German army, the Wehrmacht. Or Ost here, as it was originally called, but then switched over to Wehrmacht once they had in the Western army, obviously. Also, Ost was sort of more of an informal name for it, the sort of eastern part of the German army. As a fun fact, there was of course also the West here. Companies moving about here, troops building up the bunker here, and we got no tech up yet there for Paul. As of yet, he's just remaining with a heavy tier 1, which could of course indicate he's planning to rush into tier 3, which is very much of the common Wehrmacht strategy at the moment. Partly because a lot of deem Tier 2 not to be that useful, and it certainly is a bit difficult to disagree with them on that matter. MG42 remains here though. Paul continues to position machine gun very aggressively here against Vonivan. There we go, straight up into the arc of 5 MG42 and immediately suppressed it, taking heavy damage. The rest of the men just get out of there before they suffer any further losses. And MG42 number 2 on the way. This is going for an incredibly heavy Tier 1. 4 Grenadiers, 2 MG42s for Paul.A.D. And again, it's working in part because we're able to control the fuel point so well, so excellently. He can actually get away with this. Otherwise, this would be much more dangerous for Paul because he could risk being hit by light vehicles reasonably fast. But because of the severe fuel dominance Paul has been able to exert on Vonivan, this is actually a strategy he can pull off with such a heavy Tier 1, which can then force further allow to strengthen this early game versus Vonivan. And then begin pushing for panzers. So double MG42s, 4 Grenadiers, a very aggressive build, but also one that can very aggressively control the field when used correctly. And so far, Paul has certainly displayed himself as being an aggressive MG42 user. He's not going to just park it down somewhere. He's going to constantly be shifting it forwards to disrupt either its opponent's momentum or just push ahead. And there you go, mines down from Vonivan. Looks like Paul wasn't paying attention, and the Grenadiers get blown to bits. At the same time, in the cutoff point here, Vonivan wants to show Paul he can do that harassment bit as well. Strikes and then retreats. Back here we got reinforcement hidden going up there for Vonivan. And he's being pushed back here by the conscript, closing in the Metronzy 1. Really risky move here by Paul, and there you go, retreat right past the conscripts. Tiny chance of a wipe there, but nothing too significant. Enforcing up in the church. And as all this is happening, he's also swinging northwards there to sort of put pressure on Vonivan's northern territories again. No tech up as of yet here for Paul. He could certainly consider some. Versus Vonivan is saying he's going for the support company, considering that Paul is playing again very aggressive with his machine guns and infantry, going for mortars and maximum to counter this. Could very well prove to be, I think, a very good choice alongside some submachine guns if he can get the munitions, which so far Vonivan has not frightfully succeeded with here. And on top of this, Paul adds a stormtrooper squad, going up to 5 infantry squads. That is a lot of infantry for Paul. That is a lot of infantry for the German army. Though I suppose it does fit in with the sort of Waffen-SS theme here. Since the Waffen-SS, that's a fun fact which doesn't necessarily get discussed a lot in most more common history books, is they usually have more infantry per regiment than in a regular army division. Which is partly due down to some deals and whatnot. But based result in where most army divisions after Stalingrad lost a infantry battalion per regiment, the Waffen-SS kept theirs, meaning overall Waffen-SS division, infantry, Panzer or Panzer division just had more infantry to use against the enemy because allowed them to be a lot more aggressive and lastly achieve better assaults than the others because they simply had more forces to just throw at them per division. So that's probably something that needs to be kept in mind when talking about the performance of the Waffen-SS division. They generally just had more men. That tends to be a big difference. But there you go. Hitting the dirt and to cover against enemy forces is not necessarily the best place that Vonivan can hit the dirt with them. Do not worry, Petrov, our balls will shield us. I don't think testicles work that way. Shut up. Grenadiers need to retreat their low on health. We got the first submachine being handed out here for Vonivan, the PPSH-41, which was based off a Finnish submachine and actually was more or less a direct copy of it, probably with a few flaws or whatnot. So a little fun fact there. Stormtroopers are kicking in the door here and setting up position there. No assault rifles yet. Was he planning something else there? At the same time, we've got a push fighting around here. Max, we need to cut for the concussive grenade. And this G for the feast firing left and right here. Submachine up against Cornelius up close. They're going to lose. They're going to lose. And there we go. Forcing retreat here on Paul. And we got 2 submachine teams out here for Vonivan. This is Paul's got 1 G for the fleet team. Stormtroopers continue to be besieged up by the northern munitions. And up here we got counter fighting out Grenadiers, Pioneers. So the submachine guns blazing left, right, and maybe a bit centre. Retreating in the face there for Vonivan's raiders. The other conscripts push up for the cutoff point here. Paul finding his lines a bit more disrated. Machine guns seemingly not quite well positioned enough to sort of stop such threats. We got slow take up there for Paul, but yet no support on McCall, which probably should be his priority here before Vonivan somehow managed to catch up and begin pushing out for light vehicles. Flare mines being laid down here, or flare trip mines being laid down, so points here to sort of try and make it hard for Paul to just advance. Very good. Constantly catching Pioneers up there. Stormtroopers out in the open, grabbing the munitions point back. Paul is actually a bit scattered right now, as Vonivan seems more focused right now, which certainly could give Vonivan more chances to swing the game back in his favour if Paul is too sloppy about this. No attempt at tier 3 as of yet. Though he's got again 500 squad 74-2s, can't score hold 13 before to retreat. Stormtroopers pushing forward to the cuff point there. And Samek being tossed down here, but for now, field going away there. He's obviously worried at what Paul's going to do, and he's going to be able to rush out a tank faster than Fernand is ready for it. So he's going to bring up the assist 3 to assist. Of course, in theory, if anything else goes wrong, you can always call in passing tank hunters on top of that. But he's been against the conscripts, negative card, they're pretty exposed. Flare trap mines going off. Losses being inflicted, and there you go, conscripts push back in the name of Deutschland. And finally, Paul is taking up here as well. Could have done that a bit faster, but it is happening nonetheless. It is happening. Large scale counterattack here towards the munitions point 3. Grenadier Squad's G43 is assaulting a single conscript behind heavy cover, desperately fending for itself. Heading for the fuel point there with the Stormtroopers. For now, he's just trying to play catch there with it, but Paul is always one step ahead. At least for now. At least for now. Grenadiers continues to bring up through the south here, clearing up whatever forces for now has got hanging about there. Stormtroopers just immediately retreating there, good in position there, but Paul not going to find an engagement. He's got no chance of winning, and he's not even going to waste the manpower on it. So that was, I think, some really good decision making there by Vonivan. Or will continue trying pushing up here, but obviously the Maxim there might make him a bit more cautious. And there you go, tech up done. Now it's about him pushing out a Panzer IV on Austrian as fast as possible versus Vonivan, because Vonivan's going to struggle to contain those with only one field gun. More mines. There we go, double gun is catching the control there, defending the victory point. And wiring off the Samex, we are looking to deny Vonivan cover wherever possible. MD42 being used pretty aggressively up north, but at the same time makes it very difficult for Vonivan to counter attack. So while it has high risks, it does also have the potential of really just throwing Vonivan off up there. Not great shit for the Stormtrooper. Never mind, he's going for G43. So I'm personally not a big fan of him. I can see some situations where it can be useful, but like I would personally say if you can push for it, go for assault rifle. You just generally tend to outperform the G43 in a lot of cases. Plus, they can do a lot more damage if used correctly. MD42 need to retreat. We got too far there against MD42, low on health. Up north here, flanking the MD42. Very good work there by Vonivan. We've got a Grenadier Squadron support, but even that's not going to be enough. At least not to save the MD42 in time, so just is forced to retreat. Grenadiers remaining in defense here. Anticipating Vonivan making a push to the south. Again, not a bad assumption. We'll have to see how Vonivan deals with that though. And there it goes, straight to two Grenadier Squads. Petrol leading the way, finds himself got if he got hit the dirt there. But at the same time, that's going to be a really good spot for a concussive grenade. And yeah, pretty much is that. And we got a full retreat here from Vonivan in the south. With not really big losses here for Paul in comparison. C3 securing the centre ground, the northern fuel point here. Ground the missions again with the Stormtroopers. The G43 singing out. So Paul going up. In fact, he's got the fuel ready to go for a Panzer IV. He just needs the manpower. At which point, Vonivan's going to find himself in a sticky situation. Though he is taking up himself, he can probably get out an issue 6 to counter the Panzer IV reasonably well, which is certainly going to be nice for Vonivan to have a chance of stopping that with a bit more extra firepower. Stormtroopers doing what they do best there with Veterancy 1, killing Russians. Back here, troops in reinforcing, grabbing the southern munitions here again with conscripts. Vonivan shows no signs of slowing down here against Paul.A.D. and the 5th SS, the 213th Revolution will keep fighting gloriously. MD42 they've been caught in a pretty nasty crossfire. MD42 there pushing back a few units around the centre. Veterancy 2, 12 kills for Das Vaterland. Mortar as well for Paul. Really heavy tier 1 he's got going here, by the way. 4 Grenadiers, 2 MD42s and a mortar, plus supplemented by ductile troops in the form of Stormtroopers. That is a really heavy tier 1 there that Paul's got going right now versus Vonivan. Of course, it does have some issues since all this infantry means he's going to have to pay a lot of manpower to keep up with things. That does delay the Panzer IV. Interesting enough, Vonivan, for all his initial fears about armour, has basically scaled that back and is now considering a T70, which, while great versus all of Paul's infantry, is going to be less than great versus the Panzer IV once it hits. So That could very well end up backfiring a bit there for Vonivan. I'm not entirely sure what caused him to, you know, just suddenly switch gears from expecting armor to just trying to focus on the infantry. If it just feels like he can keep Paul's panzer at bay with a single cis-3 for now. I mean, he could possibly do it, in particular supports with the partisans, though those can be a bit of an expensive solution if he's not careful. All the way T-70 up, Panzer 4 on the way there for Paul and the 5th SS. Southern point being secured. Paul suddenly finding himself in the defense again. As Vonivan uses overall large numbers of infantry just sort of sneak through and hit left and right. T-7 though certainly not hurting either. Can contain a lot of Paul's infantry though, of course again it is more or less helpless against the Panzer 4. And that's where Vonivan's problems may arise. That is if he's not really clever about this. Which of course we'll have to see if he is. But he's certainly trying to ensure he doesn't extend. He knows his opponent has extra range and the Panzerfaust, so one mistake there and the T-7 would be Panzerfaust made an easy target. Panzer 4 they're finally arriving here for Paul.A.D. 16 minutes. Could have probably had a bit out sooner there. In this case it's actually a bit funny, like despite having basically pulled off a tier 3 rush, he didn't get out particularly fast. I mean, considering the fuel he has, he probably could have gotten out, you know, 3 to 4 minutes earlier, but because of all the infantry he had, because he went for that heavier tier 1, he actually ended up delaying his Panzer 4 by several minutes, undercutting his tier 3 rush a bit, making it less of a tier 3 rush and more of a tier 2 skip strategy in a sense. So that's a little fun note there. Anyways, comes the close and run over the Panzer 4. We've got U6 on the way there for Vonivan to counter the Panzer 4, or at least help counter it. Tier 3 gets a good hit then the Panzer 4 with 2 kills right in the south, finding around the fuel and resources here. End up successfully for Paul, though he is very much without good terrain here compared to Vonivan, who's got most of the map. The victory points, whilst Paul still has to lead there as well. Stormtroopers pulling ahead, flanking up behind, getting us some good kills for Deutschland, halfway in fact to Veterancy 2. Panzer 4 setting up there with 2 kills still. Has yet to claim more lives. And there you go. S-16M ramming here for Vonivan with its 76.2mm gun. Stormtroopers continue to remain in position. He could have tried to get into the craters to ambush them up. Making it a bit harder here for Vonivan to just creep up with the maximum against them, to be honest. Anticipating counter-tank options, Paul pulls the Panzer 4 for their back. I think that's a good decision, rather than just leaving out there as a target for Vonivan's guns. Ooh, harassment in the south there. There's though infantry nearby, they can counter Vonivan's move there. Mortify continuing to be pretty good here for Paul. So far 8 kills, Veterancy 2, so there hasn't been an impact there on Vonivan. Panzer 4 hanging back. Here's Stormtroopers being healed up, very close to Veterancy 2. And T-7 catching the MG-42 that's 45mm gun, tying into the unfortunate German souls. And immediately switching out to grab the point. Very good management there by Vonivan. Panzer 4 being flanked here by conscripts. SM6 moving in. He's going to probably try and get that. Panzer 4 there, good hit, good hit. Cis-3 moving out. Unit wiped here for Vonivan. I think that might in fact be his first wipe. Another hit from the 6. Damage engine allowing the Panzer 4 to escape the wrath of the Red Army. With a damaged main gun. Paul switching over to the second Panzer 4 here, adding mortars, Panzerwaffe, almost getting the T-7 kill on the mortars, and there you go, wipes the mortar. If you can steal that, it'd be pretty big for Vonivan, and a bit of an unfortunate loss there for Paul. So we'll have to see if he actually makes any efforts towards securing it. Otherwise, he should probably have the T-70 attack the mortar just to destroy it. So I'm not entirely sure what Vonivan is thinking. And it might actually be too late now, unless he was actually planning to bait Paul into trying to grab and then get some more easy kills there. In this case, that did not work out remote. We got rapid conscription in the south here. Vonivan being fueled here by the ability to just replace his losses as they sort of happen. And that way you get more infantry scores out. Attacking from so point, he's getting aggressive here versus Paul. We'll have to see what this pays off. maximum engagement than it is from the front. Panther 4 setting in. 20 seconds left of rapid conscription. And still not a single conscript scored here so far for Vonivan. Oh, there we go. One conscript scored out there for Vonivan. And there we go, good grenade into all of the advancing troops. And there we go, starts the entire 2 conscript squads. And I might almost have racked up enough kills there to actually form up a 6 squad. But in this case, though, Vonivan did not get that fortunate in a sense. But his entire assault did get broken up there. And now we got the Panther 4 hot in pursuit here of the T7. We got the 6 there as well. And Sis3's nearby, so there's a good chance of getting the Panther 4 from 6 on being taken out here by the Panther 4. There you go, penetrating here. Penetrating here, Panther 4 down to less than half health, less to a quarter of health. H6 is almost dead as well. And gets flanked by second Panther 4, knocking it out. Sis3 turning back here with the Panther 4, mortar fire raining down. Can he get the Panther 4? And he... Oh! The shot misses? Oh dear. And the Panther 4 escapes rapidly. Sis3, T7 in trouble, and second Panther 4 goes for it. Another H6 arriving here for Vonivan and the 213th Rifle Division. Another hit there, Panther 4 takes a hit, T70 almost down. H6 trying to turn around fast enough, but it's not going to be. There we go. T70 now, and Dimitri ejected. Panther 4 looks like it might actually escape here. That's going to be a bit of a humiliating development there for Vonivan. And there we go, looks like it will escape. Nope, he got it. He got it. A small victory there for Vonivan. At least getting vengeance for the T70. But we got a Sis3 on command of Paul. That is bad news for Vonivan. Great news for the German army. Panther 4 rolling away. They're trying to avoid death by the H6, taking a hit here from the Sis3. Vonivan once more finds himself on the defensive, but he's really trying to swing back hard here with a lot of conscripts. He's launching an all-out assault here against Paul in the northern half of the map. H6 rolls through here the base. I think he's going to try and catch that Panther 4 and destroy it. Concussive grenade off against the matchup, starting it up. Oh dear. H6 runs to the base, risk getting Panther fasted by Paul. But no, it doesn't happen. He's continuing here. He's continuing after the Panther 4. Conscript spotting it. Does he even end his tank grenade? He does. He does. Oh! We could see a second Panther 4 down here from Paul. That'd be a massive victory there for Vonivan. Massive. Single position 6 survives then. And there you go. He gets the Panther 4 by driving through Paul's base essentially. Quite the pursuit there by Vonivan, and it paid off beautifully this time. We're now going for another T70 here. Looks like Vonivan's got no immediate plans of taking out. He's seen the doctor, so he might of course be worried about the Tigers. He doesn't feel that's worth taking up to, but at the same time he was going for Tigers. He'd probably be going more H16 or something else. I mean, we'll see if he actually ends up doing that, but so far he's got a lot of manpower. He's not doing anything else really with it, so the Tiger seems very likely here, like Paul's next destination. Conscript battling out there, holding back Paul's infantry waves. Conscript northwards here. In the centre, we got troops being pushed back by the MD42, closing in on Veteran 3. Back here, troops in reinforcing, and of course, you can use conscript repairs here to fix up the H6. Very good, very good. T70 sending out a bit of lighter skirmishing in the south here from Paul with his Veteran 2 stormtroopers approaching Veteran 3. Unpleasant there for the T70 from Vonivan. Damaged engine. Paul, though, definitely seems to hang up here for the ace. He's got about 200 manpower to go here, in which case he's got 800. He's got 600, he's doing nothing with it. So Tiger Ace seems very possible here from Paul next. At which point it's going to be a bit tricky for Vonivan since he has very few counters right now. He's got the H6, and that's going to struggle a bit with the frontal armor. And no real other anti-tank weapons, so this could get very tough for Vonivan very soon, because Paul is getting ever closer there. He's got 700 manpower now, and the clock is ticking on that one. Centre being secured, after signal northwards here. We're going to push here from Paul. The infantry scamming his way through Vonivan's lines, tearing Russian infantry apart. in a matter of seconds. There you go, T7 moving up as well, Panther fast Nation 6, conscripts tearing through the gyms with submachine fire. There you go, T7 Johnny, concussive grenade went off as well, leaving Vonivan troops in a bad state, but the T-70 goes in unless there's a bit of extra vengeance, and there we go. The Tiger Ace has arrived, and Vonivan's really only got the H&6 with a damaged engine to keep in mind to counter it right now. So this is a bit of a dangerous development there for Vonivan. Bit of a dangerous one. And there you go, T-70 is spotted by the Tiger Ace. Another H&6 on the way, and the T-70 is not going to survive, that's for sure. Down that goes as repeated 88mm shells just go through the chassis. Other H&6M awaiting repairs. Ace machine could be spotted here. But actually 3 with 24 kills is pretty good there for Paul. In the south, Vonivan's making good progress with Paul as well. Tiger Ace moving in. Quick kill, and the second H&6M out here for Vonivan. As the Tiger Ace races straight into the Hornets and ST and not caring about what Vonivan's got to threaten it. Will he be punished? Let's watch and find. There you go, Tiger Ace was in 6M. That's a very one-sided engagement. Very one-sided, and there you go. H&6M lost in a matter of seconds to the wrath of the Wehrmacht as the Tiger Ace was there. Goes straight to a lot of conscripts, and the second H&6 which he might just be able to destroy right away. Even into tank, it's not enough to slow down the Ace, and there you go, damaged engine, but it's too late for the H&6. Both assault guns down, leaving Vonivan now with no real counter to the Tiger Ace. This is what you call a pretty bad situation, since the Tiger Ace without a counter is really dangerous, as there's nothing to slow down, it's just allowed to just go for infantry and murder it. Got assist 3 now on the way for Vonivan. He's not got resources for anything else, so this is best bet. That line to tank parts, and they probably one-shot it by the Tiger Ace, to be honest. Skirmishing in the south here, Maxim holding back the German stuff from the fuel point there. Ace very slowly rolling back, and that's probably Vonivan's biggest advantage now. That is, the Ace is on the field with a damaged engine. It's going to take some time to get safe, to get repaired. And until then, it's just going to basically be a huge waste of resources for Paul. So if Vonivan can exploit this, he might still have a good chance. If. And that, of course, is the big question. Can he do it? Consul sending out there. Bit ballsy there by Vonivan. Now he forgot about the Tiger Ace somehow. Either way, he's grabbing the machine gun, but right in front of the Tiger Ace is a pretty bad. He's even merging here. He wants to make sure he steals that MG42. He's willing to risk numerous conscripts dying just to get that MG42, which certainly shows how determined he is, and of course how vital it is to an extent. I mean, if he can get the MG42, he can really put some pressure on Paul's infantry, which is going to make it hard for Paul to then support his Tiger Ace. Plus, it denies Paul a machine gun, meaning Vonivan can use his 5 conscript wards a lot more freely. So it has a lot of usage there, just stealing the MG42 there away from Paul. A lot of usages. Now we'll see what Vonivan ends up with next. Tiger Ace finally back for repairs. 12 kills. The German army did have numerous Tiger Aces and other aces throughout the war. Stug Aces, Panther 4 Aces, Panther Aces. Fun facts there. They generally tend to hear less about them. Comes up swing straight into concussive grenade, and kaboom, stunned. There you go, being repulsed with heavy machine gun fire. Tiger Ace is more or less good to go, just needs a few finishing touches to ensure that anti-tank grenades don't damage the engine too fast. So will Vonivan go for more H&6s? Will he go for more field guns? How will he try and counter this Tiger Ace? Because that is a big threat when you don't have a lot of sort of medium armor or heavier tank destroyers like the H-55 to really take on. So Vonivan is in a bit of a sticky situation. He's in a bit of a sticky situation. Paul, compared to this, right now I think in a pretty strong position, though he could still be stronger. He suffered some nasty losses himself. And population-wise, they're not actually too far off each other. Tiger racing northwards, another M6 there for Vonivan. Tiger Race is hammering away 14 kills for the fatherland. That is certainly not bad. Several of them are vehicles. And there you go, rushing into the spot here with the Tiger Race. Direct hit from the history, the square on the armour. And there you go, damaged engine on the Tiger Race, forcing it back. Also, fun fact about the Tiger tank, but actually had very slow turret rotation as there was no generator for the turret. Instead, to sort of compensate for that, the Tiger tank was actually quite able to fast turn on the point. Like, it could turn like 180 degrees in like a matter of seconds. So, a little fun fact there about the Tiger tank. A lot of riflenets going off in the south, or that's just G43 sounds, but looks like riflenets need to in fact go off. Full flank, and his retreating towards the flank is growing ever wider. And another Panzer IV there for Paul, now to support Tiger Race. As for Vonivan, he can soon go for another H6 versus Paul, at which point you have two H6s in the field going to try and take on the Tiger Race again, if he can, you know, keep it all in one piece. Just retreating right past the ace, which lands an excellent hit there. "15 kills for Deutschland. 15. And there we go, Panzer IV done for Paul. And the 5th SS, Panzer Division Viking, which was initially a division of Scandinavian volunteers, including the Finns, but the Finns were initially retracted not after too long, and then finally they moved to the rest of the Scandinavians for the most part towards the 11th SS. There was some that still remain in the 5th SS, though they were increasingly in the minority. Rapid conscription again here for Vonivan, setting up for something now, at least anticipating Paul making a move. Tiger's been getting the machine gun crew head on, and there you go, so hits there from Vonivan's and the tank defense. Engage the Tiger Ace, one shot penetrating and the rest bouncing. Another penetrating hit here. Shot bounced. More hits, comes flying in here. Moving in from both sides, going to hit it with anti-tank grenades, field gun exposing itself. Marching 6 moving in, getting up first behind the first one, ensuring he can't easily get away. But he might just be able to get the Tiger, which would be quite a blow there to Paul. But for some reason he's not going for the field gun and trying to take it out. In fact, he's quickly getting away here. Still, the ace is down. A monumental loss for Germany. And leaves Paul's forces a bit with it, to put it mildly. Not an easy loss there to sort of get over. Rapid conscription in this case didn't pay off. If Vonivan's going for a T-70, as soon as the Tiger Race went dead, he went for something that could sort of punish Paul's infantry aggressively here. Not carrying too much medium armour then, it seems. It's about to lose the conscript to the Panzer IV. Don't underestimate a Panzer IV, by the way, and Paul should really upgrade that machine gun. Like the Pintermont machine gun, I think, does add some good damage to the Panzer IV. Any other tank, really. So unless he really has other uses for the munitions, I would strongly suggest just always upgrading Pintermont machines that you have. Trying to catch the M60 with the Panzer IV. Hot pursuit. M6 they're barely holding on. Trying to get away, but he can't build distance and goes down there to Paul's Panzer IV. MG42 pushing back there, one of Vonivan's troops. 38 kills on the MG42 by. That is absolutely crazy. Good work there with the MG42 by Paul. Really good work. Gonna do setting out. And a damaged engine on the Panzer IV here. Constant pulling ahead with SIS-3 support. Constant taking losses, gonna lose being shot at. almost got the Panzer IV. That's going to be a bit of a loss for Paul again. Certainly put Vonivan in a really strong spot then, along with the T7 there. Panzer IV barely survives in the south of the T7 engaging here. And pushing back some more of Paul's troops there. Paul can see the front line collapsing pretty aggressively here. So how will he react to this? How will he react? Mortar spotted here with the T7 light tank. Swiftly engaging with 45 minutes of death. Almost got the T70 and you need some leather for Paul. My pioneers. There you go, mortar stone by Vonivan. Paul's barely got anything left now. Comparatively, Vonivan's forces are growing, I think, much faster now.
The enemy has 100 points remaining.
100 points left for Paul. Now the tides have turned. He looked so strong at one point, but now Vonivan has turned the game around, destroying our Tigers in the process using basically just H&6s and a singles with 3 mounted tank grenades. That's pretty good work there by Vonivan. That is pretty good work. T7 sweeping northwards. Calf point being hit here by the veteran D3 MD4 with 38 kills. 71 points left. Taking the launching assault against the conscripts. Finding here at the southern road point. But they will have to retreat. They just don't have enough firepower to stop the grenadiers. Maximum holding up here. Veteran for itself 7 kills. And the H6 number umpteenth there. On the way for Vonivan. Almost done. Panzer IV setting out. Maximum with 9 kills actually. And get engaged by the Panzer IV from 6 around there for Vonivan. As his machine gun crew is getting obliterated under the weight of the Panzer IV. 41 points left. Pushing for the centers rather behind, and another machine gun there from Vonivan. Even as another machine is opening up around 39 kills by the way. Aggressive rush from going to the south, trying to prevent Paul there from easily getting to the victory point, and they're seizing it, and there you go, damaging the Panzer IV. 10 kills, 11 kills, H6 moving in, up centrewards here. Vonivan's, Paul's assault has pretty much stalled there, though it does seem to gain slightly a bit of fresh wind again here as he pulls ahead. And Panzer IV is the M6, M6 is likely going to go down here unless some extreme luck happens in favour of Vonivan there. I mean, it's not impossible, but oh, there we go, pulls back. More stormtroopers from Paul, and 15 points left. Sneaking up behind the counter, they're good, just since retreating. Panzer IV almost done, and there you go. Pop goes the weasel. Tactical mistake that she just, I think, kept pursuing, trying to disengage, I think was the wrong move. And there you go, more units swapped, just all falling apart for Paul. And for through there with 42 kills, being flanked here with the T7 with that is GG, game over, a loss for Paul, a victory for Vonivan. And the Russian army, I was about to call them the German army, that would have been a bit wrong to put it mildly. But a brutal fight right here in Holotny family with some aggressive attacks and incredibly disruptive start for Paul. Like, he really just put Vonivan under so much pressure, and Vonivan though handled I think it quite well. The issue for Paul though was then he was really so active pulling off the tier 3 rush part of the strategy. Like, he ended up at 16 minutes. A good tier 3 rush can be around 12 to 13 minutes. I think that's in part because Paul went for such a heavy tier 1. It just, set him up for some heavy manpower, but their Pleasure played still very aggressively, so he ended up not being able to push out the Panzer IV quite as fast as possible, giving Vonivan more time to bring up counters, and that way, just, the strategy slowly sort of unraveled itself. And then sort of Vonivan just built up a really tenacious defense, even dealing with the Tigers using just H&6s, and this is 3. Plus, of course, as consequence, submachine guns run incredibly strong force, doing a lot of damage. Plus, with rapid conscription, sort of soak up some of the losses as well. So, I mean, overall, I think Vonivan sort of had it better, sort of strategically going on as the fight went off. First, Paul had the tactical advantage early on. He wasn't able to really build it into something more serious, and I think that cost him the game. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send a new plan apart some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you tomorrow for another episode.